All right, after what was a long fielded 3 game losing streak in games of which Miami led in all of them, the Dolphins finally pull off a win on Monday Night Football against the Los Angeles Rams. The final score 23-15. What a game. That was a game Miami needed to win. They are now officially a game and a half back of the 7th seed in the playoff race. And this is a season that Miami could not afford to tank. They have too many older pieces, too many contracts. They just could not afford to tank this season. And the win today fully starts the run and starts to push. This was a great game by the defense. Like, the defense played absolutely incredible, forcing the Rams to have no touchdowns in this one for only the second time in Matthew Stafford's tenure in Los Angeles. They played incredibly, a great bend don't break style of defense that at moments looked very rough, especially against a run, but they were able to lock down and only hold them to field goals. They played a great game today, and again, only holding them to field goals. The big highlight was that first drive out of the half. It was not going good for the defense, but when they needed to, they got a lucky bounce. Stafford mishandles a snap. They lose about 10 yards on that play. And then from there, the defense does their job, forcing them to kick a field goal that initially was good from 52, but it false started, made it from 57, and it was missed. On the flip side, when the offense got the ball back, they finally had another good drive in this game. The offense was playing very bad in this one. I mean, they had their moments of shine. Like, that first drive of the game was incredible. They moved the ball really well and really effectively. It was great. The first drive in the second half was a really good drive that they moved the ball effectively in. Tyreek Hill finally gets in the end zone again for the first time since week 1. But the big thing is just there was no consistency to this offense. In part because the Rams front 7 is incredible. They did a great job against the ground today. Miami's running game was pretty much non-existent. And when that happens and you become one-sided, it becomes a lot tougher to be able to make the plays you need in the passing game. That's just plain and simple. But there were a few times where the ground game was able to get going, and then just something happened. My thing with the offense that I realized a lot today that was definitely a factor in earlier games this season, but I didn't really point it out. There is a very, very massive lack of a check down option in the majority of the plays that are called, or at least it feels that way. We saw with the Rams on both of their late half drives to end the first half and to end the second half that they were completely fine taking the check down and getting 7+ yards down the field. And Miami just doesn't have that option in a lot of plays. The Rams got a field goal to end that first half, and I was not feeling good about this game after that because it's like this offense was not playing well today and a bunch of other things. This was a great game by the defense. I mentioned this during the live play-by-play. If you haven't new or if you just seen the channel due to this, I do live play-by-plays for damn near every single Dolphin game. Come the holidays, it'll be a little bit tougher for me to do it, but I'll try my best. I also do live play-by-plays for a bunch of the primetime games and all that, so go watch those when those come around. Thursday, I'll be live for that one between the Eagles and Commanders. Shows how dated this video is. But I mentioned it during the play-by-play. And it is just a very weird style of offense that Miami has. In the sense of when it works, it is one of the best offenses in the league. We saw that against Buffalo last week. It was firing in all cylinders. The ground game was working well. Tua was playing really well. And then in this game, it was a very tough watch for the offense. And part of it is that lack of a check down option. And we saw it with Tua's fumble, that he just didn't have someone to throw the ball to. And we've seen it in other situations tonight where Tua takes a big sack for what feels like no reason because why doesn't he throw it to the check down or why doesn't he throw it away? Well, he doesn't have a check down option most of the time, or he just doesn't think to throw it away. When it comes to his interception, that was a terrible interception throw. I have no idea what Tua was thinking about. We just got lucky the defense made up for it on the very next play with forcing their fumble. And speaking of the defense, Calais Campbell is one hell of a fucking player. consistently getting his hand on batted balls. He forced an interception in this one because of it, and making big time plays after big time plays. The other thing with the defense, it is showing how much we missed Zach Zeeler, how much we missed Javon Holland, and how much we missed Kader Kohu the past few weeks. Those three guys were massive parts in tonight's win. And on the flip side, with the offense and their injury issue, we saw tonight how how impactful, and two, how great Austin Jackson is. The offensive line looked so much worse tonight than it has at any point the past 2 weeks, and part of it is not having Austin Jackson. I'm going on a bunch of weird tangents here, but whatever. This was a great win for Miami. So again, I mentioned this in the live play-by-play. I'll mention here again. In 2020, Tua's first ever start was against the Rams in a game that the defense played incredibly well and was the main factor for the win. That win against the Rams sparked a win streak that lasted about 4 games before losing to the Broncos, but then got another win streak, and Miami came a game shy of making the playoffs in 2020. This season has been a very rough start to the year, with a very nice win against the Rams, with a game in which the defense played incredibly well in. We could make a run. We're a game and a half back from the playoffs. I'm not banking on it, but Miami won't be the first team to run the table if it happens. We'll see. A bunch of season left to play, entering week 11 next week. Thank you all for tuning in. Subscribe if you're new. Leave a like as well. Be really appreciated. See you all next time. Have yourselves a damn good one. Peace.